Someone has said, "Words are seeds that do more than blow around. They land in our hearts and not the ground. Be careful what you plant and careful what you say. You might have to eat what you planted one day." Read this story about a boy named Don. After you read it, ask yourself, what could that teacher have done differently? Your words matter. How can you use your words to effectively work with children? We're going to look at 4 types of what we call teacher language. The 4 language types include envisioning, reminding, reinforcing, and redirecting. Not only can these different language types help you prevent undesired behavior, but it can help equip you to change the life of a child. The goal of envisioning language is to set a positive tone for future work. It involves observing what the child has done in the past and then looking ahead to help them see a positive future. Instead of just solving a problem for a child, take the time to help them think through it. For example, if a child is learning a new song, you could say, "I've seen you learn new songs well in the past. What could you do to help you learn this one?" Envisioning language only works if you see children in the proper way. You need to choose if you are going to see children with dignity or depravity. We know that everyone has a sin nature and will probably mess up if they get the chance. But we don't need to see the kids this way. We can choose to see them as sinners separated from God, or as created in the image of God with the opportunity for salvation. How will you choose to see kids? For each language type, there is a list of sentence starters. These are the most helpful in practically applying this language to your everyday speech. Before you are with a group of kids, just pick 1 or 2 sentence starters to try to use throughout the day so it becomes a part of your natural speech. Read each sentence starter and then write at least 2 you would like to use. The next language type is reminding language. Reminding language helps kids remember expectations that have already been stated. Of course, for this to be effective, you need to state your expectations. You cannot expect a child to follow an expectation that you have not given. This is why we always start with the up rules. All reminders should be brief. It is not effective to lean over to a child who is talking and say, "Right now, the teacher is talking, so you need to be listening up and zipped up because it is important that we listen to what the teacher is saying." At that point, I am probably more distracting than the kid probably was. The up rules are great for this. Just stating, "Zip up and look up" is sometimes enough. Other times, you may not need to say anything at all. Just grab the child's attention and point to the teacher. Or, if you are the one teaching, change your proximity so you are closer to the child. I am not breaking in what I am talking about, but I am regaining attention as needed. After each reminder, watch to make sure the child acts. If they don't, you may need to move on to another language type. The third language type is reinforcing language. Reinforcing language points out what behaviors students are doing well so that they continue to build on those behaviors. The key to reinforcing language is to be specific. Some of you may remember getting an assignment back in school where the teacher wrote, "Good job," at the top. If it was so good, why did I get an 80%? Instead of generalizing, point out the behaviors that are good so they are encouraged to build on those behaviors in the future. As you are giving feedback, be sure to emphasize description over personal approval. It is the difference between me saying, "I like that Jimmy is sitting quietly," and "Jimmy is sitting quietly." We want kids to do what is right because it is right, not because they want to please you. Most importantly, we want them to seek to please God. The last language type is redirecting language. Redirecting language includes clear, non-negotiable instructions or commands when children have gone off track. This is used when reminding language has not worked or the behavior is unsafe to self or others. Once again, it is a brief and clear statement. There should be no arguing what your meaning is. It is best to start with the child's name so it is clear who you are addressing. Your tone should not be angry, but calm and clear. Remember, tone makes a bigger impact than volume, for better or worse. Redirecting language can be used to stop the domino effect that sometimes can be caused. For example, you have stated the expectation not to throw away trash until after the Bible story. One kid gets up to throw away trash, then another stands, and another, until half the class is throwing their trash away. This could have been avoided if the first child was stopped before they reached the trash can. Read the story about Don one more time. Based on the different language types we just discussed, how could this teacher talk to Don? Someone has said, words are seeds that do more than blow around. They land in our hearts and not the ground. Be careful what you plant and careful what you say. You might have to eat what you planted one day. What kind of seeds are you going to plant with the kids you are with? Will they be seeds of hope or of fear and despair? Your words matter a lot. So take the time to change your words to effectively reach the children and manage them well.